everybody. How are you all doing today? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello. Oh my sweet goodness. It's Monday! Alright, loud Skaven music, calm down. Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you may be. Hey, Von Moltke, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Oh, I love that new high emote. Hello, Twitch chat. Hello, YouTube chat. How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing very well. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'm gonna have to redo the Twitch emote, or the YouTube emotes as well. Forgot I need to go in and refresh which ones y'all have availability to. Throt in the thought. Oh man. Excuse you, it's thoughts. There's two of them. Can I show you Gorge's skill tree? No. Yeah, sure, that's no problem. Okay. It's so good to see you all. Been a hot minute. Can I enlighten you what the time of the three emperors is? I suspect I know what that's in question about. We will... Well, okay, first things first. Someone wanted to see Gorich. Here's Gorich's skill tree. He's got a pretty typical regular tree. Really nice set of blue skills, but his unique abilities are Intact Mind. I'm just going to slowly go through these. Trusted Chieftain. You can't see my screen. There you go. Intact Mind. Public Order bonus and unit experience for his army. Trusted Chieftain, Leadership Aura size, Leadership Aura effect, and a magic resistance bonus to allies in range. Throt's Greatest Creation, hit points, +1 loyalty for new characters, Guardian. Frenzied Assault, charge bonus and melee attack for all nearby allies. Arena Boss, melee attack, recruit rank for all monsters. More growth juice. Piston-Driven Claws gives you the Warp Frenzy buff. And Norscan Fury gives you the Norscan Rage buff, or passive, because he is, of course, a Norscan. Will I be doing a Drycha campaign before her release? Curtis, we actually did Drycha like 2 or 3 days ago, but I'll probably be finishing her campaign tomorrow. But we have to do something much more important first, which is our hello queue. It's important to me that I say hello to y'all, or those of you that want to be said hello to. So, if you are interested in being greeted today, feel free to throw a hello in chat while we kind of get through today's start. So, a couple things before we get into it. The big thing, Inquisitor, I refuse. I refuse, at least for the moment. Maybe I'll do it later. Actually, you know what? I will do it, but I'll do it in a special way. Let's see. Things coming up in the near future are just because I know on Mondays it's usually good to kind of do a what the deal is for the week. So for this week, we're looking at finishing Throt's campaign today, which should be really easy. Tyler, thanks for the tip, my dude. No message with it, so I'll be watching chat for a message. Tomorrow, we will be finishing Drycha's campaign. And then I will also tomorrow be releasing my review on the DLC. Because I can talk about it tomorrow. So I'll be putting out a video with my thoughts as a review form. And then on Wednesday, we'll pretty much just hammer the Sisters of Twilight campaign until we finish it or the DLC comes out. But we'll be doing our best to finish their Vortex campaign. Once that is done with, the DLC should be out. So we will probably be doing a little bit of readjusting to what we'll be focusing on for a while. We might pull back from the campaign aspect and focus instead on Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning for a bit, as well as the getting my multiplayer tournaments back up and running, because I would really like to get those up and running again. And I also need to announce this week the speedrun competition that'll be hosted, that I will be hosting. So lots is going to be happening this week. I hope you're all looking forward to it. When it comes to my brain. When it comes to the patch notes. I will be doing a patch note video once that comes out. Alright, so let's say hello to everybody. That should have been enough time. Alright, so good morning to, we've got Gumps, that guy in yellow, John Locke Cole, Hawk Oddly, Makuta12345, Godzilla 2021, Luke Mahonigan, Heretical Heretic, Dosick, Grim Wrath. Good to see you. Hashit's Champion, hello, hello. Dragon Gear, Lizardman0702. Lizardman, hope you're doing well today. Salter. Good, good, good. Crackus9, hello, hello. And then on YouTube, good morning to... Where does it start? Here we go. Curtis, Apprentice Orion, Server of the Great Horned Rat, N. Thompson, Joseph Koreski, Inquisitor Thomas, Eckert Q, Dr. Zero, Dosick 95, Grebo, Tyrion Lamperouge, Glacial Raven, Thomas Eck, Quaris, Chris Lofton, Jake Wu, Connor Mitamura, Ark, Patrick Egger, Mans Sheffer, Tybelane, Bartez Bayrun, Dawi Zar Win. Not for sometime in December. I don't know exactly when. Jan Novak, Mason Riley, Lord Titan, Nikola Popovic, Indrik Boreal, Archmage Eldrin, Hammond, Grebo, hello from Belgium, well hello from Texas, Apprentice Orion, Taha, what's my favorite monster in the game? My favorite monster is probably the Carnosaur. I love Carnosaurs. And then Inu Okami, Blade 6077, Christian Sukowicz, Ruben, Frozen Soul 990, Dr. Zero, Blighty Artist, I'm Not Toxic, Marcus Johansson. Do I need to remember all? Probably. Spud, Maxwell, Umberto, Cryotier, and Trivia. Hello, hello. Why are there no Moulder bears? Probably, I mean, they probably use bears to make up elements of their various beasts and monsters. Did you get mentioned twice? Probably. I don't have like a fancy thing that that like if someone says hello, it puts their name in once and only once. I just kind of have to like pick apart in chat and start just going down the list and hope that it works out. Alright, so we're going to be taking down Kislev here in a hot second. Dude, I'm so excited to start getting back to ROR. Like, of course, like, you know, because the DLC is just hot stuff going on right now, I really want to be, Has the Temple of Urson always been there for the AI? Or is that new? I know the Boca Palace has already been there, but I don't... Temple of Urson. That's actually pretty nice. 9 Untainted. Pretty boring, but effective. I wonder if that's there to help them from just getting, like, obliterated by all the corruption around them. I believe that's new. Well, that's a cool find. Well, Semper says it's old. But whatever. Alright. Will Nippon and N play a major role in Warhammer 3? Hopefully. I have no idea. Kislev DLC win? Hopefully sometime in the future. Godzilla 2021, I need a DLC where a Crocscore is wearing a pirate hat and using a blunderbuss. Why do you want King K. Rool in Warhammer Fantasy? Join war against the Von Karsteins? No thank you. I'm more than happy ignoring the undead. Meng, thanks so much for the tip. I don't see a message with it. I'm not crazy, right? Like, my thing's not freaking out. There's no messages in those super chats, right? What clan was the one that was trying to make rat ogres with alligators? I do not remember off the top of my head. If memory serves, that should be... That note would either be included in the Black Plague saga, because that's when we actually got the rat ogres introduced for the first time, or that would show up in, like, one of the smaller notes. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look that one up. Oh, there's Tyler. What's the significance of the Eternity King between it and the Phoenix King? How did Malekith get the title? So, the Eternity King was a role that was specifically introduced in the End Times, and it was given to him by Lilith, and it's kind of just a political move. It's just kind of a political move of Lilith trying to say, okay, Malekith is like he's the king of all elves. So where the Phoenix King was only the king of the high elves, the Eternity King is the king of all the elves. So wood elves, dark elves, and high elves. It's really just kind of like a big political hand wave by a goddess. Aren't regular rat ogres already mutants? So mutant rat ogres are just even more mutated. Regular rat ogres, funny enough, are actually a stable species. Like, yeah, they're technically, they are very much technically mutated because a lot of them have, like, extra graftings and other stuff on them. But, like, an actual rat ogre can be reproduced. Meng, you okay there? I'm not saying any messages, I'm just seeing all these little super chats. Lore-wise, who would be the best matchup for Taurox in the Lord Pack DLC? Lore-wise, it would have been Marcus Wolfheart. Marcus Wolfheart faced off with Taurox in the End Times, and Marcus Wolfheart actually killed him. But, you know, we're kind of already past that point. Is that Gorst? I may get drawn into a war with the vampires. No, remain strong. Don't give in, Sotek. Just stay focused. Finish the campaign. That's a lot of money. Sure. Now, we must remain focused. I can't give in to spiteful little maneuvers. Who's my favorite Skaven Lord? Throt the Unclean. From, like, a story standpoint. I would say, from a gameplay standpoint, probably Skrulk. Skrulk is really, really fun. Excessive Total War. I like that name. Hey, love your stuff. Wish you streamed more. Wanted to ask how the new Chaos difficulty setting works. So, wish I streamed more. I've been streaming so much lately. Thanks for the nice words, my dude. When it comes to the new difficulty setting, basically it seems to just determine the size of it, the size and maybe like the levels. I haven't gotten a lot of testing in yet with the new difficulty setting for Chaos, because you have to get, you know, fairly late into your campaign to get it. So that being said, we will absolutely try. We're actually on a legendary size Chaos Invasion right now. So, ooh, the Corrosive Blade. Hopefully we'll be able to trigger it in this campaign. Ming, thanks so much for God. How? Well, I'm glad you're good. Hope you're. Thanks for the kind words. Heard they tweaked Malice's possession mechanic. Is that true? I have no idea. I have not touched Malice. I can take a look at it later today, maybe, and see if that is correct. Richard Tufts, this is not a question, it's a hug with money. Oh, it's my favorite kind. But thank you. I appreciate that. That's not necessary. I appreciate the support, but I'm just happy to be spending time with you guys. Hawk Oddly, thanks so much for gifting 5 subs, my dude. Thank you. That was a lovely sub bomb. Anybody who got a new sub, enjoy the emotes and all that jazz, and yeah. We're gonna listen to Mazdamundi giving praise here for a few minutes. Jubal, Falk, or Elspeth for Gnome Legendary Lord? I'm going to counter with... well, I guess, would I counter that? I feel like Elspeth is the most likely, even though I hate her with a fiery passion of 1,000 suns. Yes, we do have a bonk emote now. It's true. On Twitch. I need to put it on YouTube. I'll do it after the stream. Oops. Garanath, no, Grudge is still there. Twitch, we have to have like a special Twitch meeting later. Because I did something over on Twitch. I messed around with a new feature that gives you guys like an assload of emotes. But it's a little complicated to explain. So we'll talk about it later. Why do I hate Elspeth? I hate Elspeth because she represents everything the Empire isn't. She's like a ethereal, mostly undead, godlike wizard who rides a super powerful dragon mount, the likes of which the Empire has never seen or utilized. And she's as far from being human as possible. She's just, she stands against everything they represent. Do I think Kurt Helborg has a chance later on the line? I really hope so. I really want Kurt Helborg as a legendary lord. And Ludwig Schwarzhelm as a legendary hero.
Kill, eat, chew, kill, harvest pods.
Wonder how many times I'm gonna blow up Kislev. Let's see here. Okay, so we're done with Kraka Drak. It is fully upgraded. That's super nice. What kind of lord do y'all think we should take as our secondary lord? Should we go... We could go Warlord, Warlock Master, Greyseer, and whatever the other last dude is. Master Assassin. We can go one of those. I think with Throt, it would make the most sense to go like a Warlord. Do I think we'll ever see Karl Franz on his dragon mount? No. The issue with the Imperial Dragon is it just takes away from Deathclaw. Warlord? Sounds good. I'm seeing more Warlord than anything else, I think. Ooh, nice. Immortal. Come over here, Throg. Help me burn down Kislev. Fulfill your destiny. Alright, we'll get all these... let's get what territory we have essentially fully upgraded. And then we're gonna get that... We'll get a Warlord. And I think we'll build him like like a mix of like Warlord clan and Clan Moulder with maybe a sprinkling of Scryer. I have so much money! What faction do I think needs more legendary lords made by CA? So like a CA original? Norska. Norska, the faction that struggles the most to get new characters that fit within its theme, because the theme is so specific, is Norska. Especially because they only have 2. Norska is a bizarrely laser-focused faction. I love that. Get in my gut! Hey, Sons of Athena! Thanks for continuing your sub. 4 months. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Ooh, Plague. I love Plague. I can never turn away from a chance to fight alongside AI armies. It always makes me super happy. What are the victory conditions for Throt? We're actually pretty close to accomplishing them. We just need to blow up a couple more cities. I'll show you after this fight. Eating contest, Throt versus Grom. Who wins? My money's on Throt. I feel like Grom can definitely eat like a insane amount of food, but I think Throt also can do that, but Throt has a better metabolism. Like, Throt literally has such a high metabolism that if he isn't constantly eating, his body literally starts to eat itself. Like, his stomach will start to eat its inner lining. Because he's just, like... That's how horrifyingly, like, fast his metabolism is. So I feel like Throt could out-eat good old Grom. Gorich! Okay, Gorich, we're gonna have smash down the gates. So many mutated units. The rest of us will kind of hang back until he's done. Okay, oh god, I have 3. Wolf Rats, need you all over here. I think we're gonna get rid of the basic Brood Horror and maybe fit in, like, start getting some, like, Plague Sensor Bearers. But we'll play it by ear. Let's go! Gorich, take it down. We can siege all 2 in as well. You're fast and have regen. Gorich is not very fast. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Throt versus Greases? Greases would... Greases just has too big of a size advantage. No. Once it's at 50%, we'll send in everything else. Here comes Norska. We'll wait till like 75. Are the Druchi loyal to Malekith only out of fear? Most of them, yes. There's a couple who are loyal to him, like, legitimately, but the vast majority of Dark Elves are only loyal through fear. But, you know, that's entirely Malekith's fault. He very much encourages a atmosphere of... He encourages that kind of dichotomy. Spin to win! Plague Box!
Council's command! Plague Priest!
I think Kislev is doomed. What do y'all think? Okay, we'll have the plague monks sweep across the wall. You lot, take the center. Oh yeah, I can use Remouldered on Gorich. So now Gorich gets to heal a whole bunch of health. Yeah, if you keep Gorich close to a Packmaster or Throt, he can actually get a ton of healing. Let out the dogs. Go. Okay, we'll let the Norskins handle the gate. Into the deeper city! Is that a mammoth in here? Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm so happy that Norska has, like, a good ally now. That's, like, right next door. I think that's actually going to be a really fun duo campaign. I think a really good, like, co-op campaign will be Throt and, like, either Throg or Wulfric. Seems like a good spot for a plague. Does Games Workshop still sell the fantasy roleplay? The fantasy roleplay is still actually had a fairly recent edition come out that's very active and it's super duper fun and is getting a lot of good support. It's Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition, but it's not by Games Workshop. It's by a third-party company called Cubicle 7. Cubicle 7 is responsible for the roleplay. I highly recommend it, though. It's a lot of fun. I have GM'd a number of campaigns for it, and I've also played in a campaign for it, and I've always had a blast. I really want to get that Remouldered on Gorich. Just let him get all healed up. Okay, there we go. I think we'll capture Kislev. I think I kind of want to expand until I hit the mountains. Would the Chaos Dwarves work with the Skaven? No, they actually hate each other. Especially because the Skaven keep trying to, like, steal... Clan Scurrier and the Chaos Dwarves in particular have a big rivalry where they absolutely despise one another and are constantly trying to kill each other. MMO Addicted, thanks for the bits, my dude. Have I tried the Age of Sigmar RPG yet? I haven't. I own a copy of the rules, the digital rules, but I haven't had a chance to play them yet. I really want to. Especially because I heard there's already an update coming out soon. Let's see. Let's get Quartermaster. Kislev, repair. Let's get a garrison building, get rid of that. Let's get that. Anton, are old RPG characters like Sultan and Baba Yaga canon? So generally the way it works when determining canonicity, especially by the way Games Workshop likes to handle it, is that if there is not a piece of lore directly contradicting something, so like if something shows up in the lore and there's not any, and it was like in 6th edition, say, which is when Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 2nd edition came out. If there's not something that's come out since then that says something completely different, then generally you can feel pretty safe that whatever it is, like, it's still canon. How am I so low on food? Because I keep spending it on settlements. I keep using it. That's why. Trust me, I'm getting plenty of food, but I'm blowing it as fast as I can in a lot of places. I want to upgrade my rat ogres. Nice. These ones have weeping blades. That's not going to counteract their weeping blade armor. Let's give them better casualty replenishment. What do you have? You have melee attack and weapon strength. Give me... Oh, is that Chloe? Hey, come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here. Hold on, chat. Hey, you gotta open all the doors, huh? Come over here. I want to show you something. Come here. Hey, come here, come here, come here. Come here, come here, come here for a second. 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 Come here. Chat, if you're new here, there's someone I would like you to meet who is very important to what we do around here. Oh, gosh. This is Chloe. This is the channel mascot. Hey, what are you doing, big girl? What are you doing? She's very large, and she's going underneath the desk. Because it's tall enough for her to fit under, and she really likes when she can do that. But Chloe is a, you can think of her as the channel mascot. There she goes. Chloe, what are you doing? What are you doing, huh? What are you doing, huh? She's old. She's about 10 years old. She's a Great Pyrenees White Lab mix. What are you doing, huh? You just saying hi? You just hanging out? Yeah. Yeah. The only bad thing about her is that she's rather infamous for she knows how to open doors, which is sometimes a good thing, but is oftentimes a bad thing because I'll be recording, and you know I don't live here by myself. My family lives here, and she'll just kind of like smash all the doors open between her and whatever she wants to be. So I guess she's just going to kind of chill out for now. We are actually going to be getting a... I'm actually planning on getting a wireless camera that'll basically just be designed to follow her around. That way we can turn on a Chloe cam when she happens to be in the room. But yeah, that's Chloe. So I guess she's just going to kind of hang out. It is considered a blessed stream when Chloe shows up. She doesn't always. She only shows up from time to time. Yes, all my red ogres are armored. Are Chaos scared of Skaven? No. Chaos looks down on Skaven and considers them to be nothing more than pestilent vermin. Am I married? No. I live with my family. I moved... when did I move back home? I moved back home a while ago. And then, like... But... It's a fairly large house, so like I have a good amount. Like I have roughly an apartment's worth of space to myself. Like I've got a full-size bedroom, and then I've got this room, which is gigantic to be frank, and a bathroom or a 2-room bathroom, and then a little bit of a upstairs. And I'm on the second floor, but so I kind of get left to my own devices, but I really enjoy spending time with my family. So for me, I mean, this just works really well. For some people, the idea of living with their family is probably horrifying, but for me, it works out really, really well. Are there any human followers of the Great Horned Rat? Not in fantasy. There are in Age of Sigmar, but not in fantasy. We get it, Texas is big. Well, Texas, a lot of people tend to have large property. I live in North Texas, so I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I live in the suburbs. And it's wonderful. I actually really like it. Is that the Slayer King? Oh, we're gonna absolutely wreck him. Thanks for the biddies, my dude. Bits for the doggos. Yep. Everyone likes Chloe more than me. It's okay. I like Chloe more than me. Looks like she's just gonna pass out. Poor dog. She has to get She has to get a surgery soon, which is not going to be fun for her. She has to get a mass on her leg removed. It's like like if you're looking at her foot like this is her paw, it's like right back here. But hopefully it won't be too bad. Alright, let's fight the dwarves. Oh, wow. Yeah, he's part of like a super alliance. They have Drycha in their super alliance? The bastards. Okay, hold on. Before we do that, I need an army to defend my northern territory. Oh, so I wanted to see the victory conditions. Here's the victory conditions. I need to complete the 3rd chapter objective, which we're currently working on. Make the Depths of Hell Pit. We did that. Make 4 batches of monsters. Did that. Upgrade the laboratory 3 times with the following upgrades. We have 2 of them. And then get an upgrade from the final tier. So, the big thing is I just need a lot more food. So I need to stop wasting it on, settlements. Yeah, I guess... I mean, I could, maybe I should worry about finishing off Kislev before we do anything. Once I've finished off Kislev, we can go from there. That'd probably be the wise thing to do. So let's not strike Ungrim down just yet. It's always wise to finish the food on your table before you invite everyone else to fight you in a big war. Hey, Love Guru, thanks so much. I appreciate the nice words. Domination victory objectives? Mortal Empires does not have a domination victory. It has a short victory and a long victory. Domination victory is exclusive to the Vortex campaign. Yeah, the Order Tide is still a thing. The only way the Order Tide will ever not be a thing is they need to fix the vampire counts. The vampire counts, I think, are the key.
Kill body. Kill bodies.
I'm just gonna blow it up. I don't want to expand too far south. I want to focus on defending my territory. Let's see. Chapter objectives. I need to raise or sack 8 settlements that I have not touched, I think. Okay, let's go ahead and get... nah. Let's work on Lightning Strike and Quartermaster. Let's get Magical Reserves. Gorich, let's do Elusive. Packmaster, let's do Tenacity. Thanks for the bits, MMO Addicted. In case you missed it, do the Pupper news sourcebook info February for the Lumineth, Melusai, and Kithari, as well as standard dwarfs. Oh, nice. That'll be cool. I'm looking forward to them doing rich OG dwarfs. That'll be nice. Okay, we're gonna just activate exploitative planning like everywhere, so that I can start like ramping up on food stores.
Master Lord of Hellpit. Tunnel under walls.
So, okay, so in Age of Sigmar, a lot of things are different from Warhammer Fantasy. And one of the major differences in AOS is that there are actually human cultists of the Great Horned Rat. Because he's one of the Dark Pantheon. The Great Horned Rat essentially escaped, the Great Horned Rat, well, how do I explain this? The easiest thing to say first is that the Slaanesh, the god, was captured by the Elven gods, and in Slaanesh's absence, the Great Horned Rat basically wormed his way onto the Dark Pantheon to take Slaanesh's spot, which is why right now is a really exciting time for a lot of reasons in AOS. Because Slaanesh, although Slaanesh has not escaped his prison yet, Slaanesh did just have a baby that is like a basically new Slaanesh, or it seems to be perhaps taking Slaanesh's spot on the Pantheon. And that new, like, Slaanesh's child is not going to tolerate the Great Horned Rat. So there's probably going to be like a big war between the two of them. Jay Phoenix, hey dude, how you enjoying it? You okay, Chloe? You're just hanging out? Kislev is dead. Okay. I've done my job, so let's retreat to Kislev and get healed up. Let's finish upgrading Kislev to deal with invaders. And then I'm going to summon a new lord here. So let's get a warlord, weapon master. Nice. And we're going to want him to have a chieftain. Oh, I'm out of money. I bought too much stuff. Okay, we're just going to try and keep stealing technology as fast as we can. And we're sending our warlock, Doomlock engineer is going to Karak 8 or Karasakarak so I can steal their money.
Most masterful of masters.
Let's get Ancient Cunning. And this guy is going to be all about, like, Clan Moulder, Clan Skarier, and Warlord Clan. Mason Riley, thanks for the tip, my dude. I recently finished the Queek book, really good in it. Queek fights Gorfang Rotgut, and it seems like Queek lost. What do I think? Yes. We'll actually talk about that in Queek's video. Gorfang has, like, the one thing that Queek really can't effectively deal with, and that's just hysterical amounts of armor. I do think that if Gorfang and Queek continued to fight over a long period of time, maybe Queek would be able to land a killing blow. But Gorfang wears literally so much armor that it is genuinely difficult for Queek to hurt him. So I do think it stands canonical that Queek would have a really hard time with Gorfang Rotgut. But you'll notice that in the book, Queek considers staying back to fight him. Like, Queek isn't like, oh, I've got to run away. He's like, he gets angry and considers fighting him again, but something else catches his attention and he leaves. But, I do think Queek has what it takes to kill Gorfang, but that would have been, like, a big fight that would have lasted for a really long time. Hammond, thanks for the tip, my dude. Warhammer armies. So, 6th edition Wood Elves, or is that 8th edition? I think that's 8th. What is that above the Eternal Guard text? Could we have gotten that as a minor summon for this DLC? Let me see. What else? You said 2005? Is that 8th edition or 6th? That sounds like 8th edition. Whoa. Let's see. What's the print for this? Nope, this is 2013. So that's the 6th edition book. Let me think. 6th edition. Let me pull up my digital copy of that. Oh my gosh, that's not what I wanted. There it is. Army books. 6th ed. What else? Bye, Chloe. Let's see. You said above the Eternal Guard on page 20-something? Scroll. Okay, here we go. Glade Guard, Glade Rider. Eternal Guard. That's a spite. So, spites are these, like, little spirit creatures that can take... They're shapeshifters. So they can take all sorts of crazy and bizarre forms. And those are... When you play the new Wood Elves, whenever you get a forest spirit character, whether it's a branch wraith, a malevolent branch wraith, or, like, any of those guys, their new traits are based on spites. So that's what that is. Alright, let's do that. Do one of Queek's heads tell him to go look for something else after the fight? No, Queek... There was a particular antagonist that Queek was very invested in killing, and Queek happens to see them when he's dueling with good old Gorfang. Okay, let's get rid of this guy so I can get the ROR version. More Skatar's Hellion. And I'm actually going to get rid of one of these Rat Ogres. Let's get rid of this one. That way I can get the pit fighters. Alright, and then for this guy, let's get you a chieftain. Let's do sharp teeth. I need to message someone at CA. I think I don't. There's probably not time before it goes live, but at some point they probably need to spice up a few of those RORs. And then, do I still have enough money? Yeah, let's get rid of the Brood Horror, since I already have 2 Brood Horrors with my characters. And I want to pick up a unit of Plague Monk Censer Bearers. That's all the money I have. The Warlord, we're going to leave right here for the moment. Okay, so we're going to worry about building his army up. Diego. Do I think the mobile game might increase Cathay's chance? They want that Chinese money. I don't know if the mobile game will honestly have anything to do with it. I think Three Kingdoms success alone makes it super likely that we will see Cathay. Nice digital codexes. Where did I find them? Trade secret. Trade secret. It would legally be a very big no-no for me to just say that out loud. So in the interest of not self-sabotaging myself, I will hope you understand. Alright, I want a Warlock Engineer for this army. Tactician's pretty good. Actually, let's go Fleet-Footed. That being said, if your Google Foo is half decent, you can probably find them. Like, finding all of the old Warhammer Fantasy stuff is not too difficult nowadays. Games Workshop got a lot lazier about, like, obliterating them all from existence in recent times. Since they no longer print them. Oh, you know what? I think we could use... yeah, I want an Eshin Sorcerer. Instead of a... Ooh. Oh, no, it's Ambush Defense chance. So let's take this one. Yeah, that'll be a cool little group. Okay. Then let's give you... It gets Zap Zap. Avalanche Mortars. Council Guard. And then let's go with another group of mortars. Plague Claw Catapult. Oh, your time is coming, dwarf. You just wait.
Warlock Engineer.
Okay, so I need to get one of these 3. So I need to have 5,000 gold, but we can go ahead and get one of these. Let's get the Unclean Energy Bar. Boom, done.
Mix.
I would assume the match with Queek and Gorfang would go differently if Gorfang had his weapon. I think Gorfang could probably beat Queek, yeah, if he had Red Fang. When he fights Queek and Headtaker, he's literally just using, like, the leg of a statue. Who would win in an ego off, Cetra, Thanquil, or Sigvald? My money would probably be on... I think Sigvald is more arrogant than Cetra. Thanks for the bits, MMO Addicted. Hey, Bubba, thanks for the tip, my dude. Really enjoying your streams and videos, and I want to support you. Well, I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to playing as Durthu. What would be a thematic army for him? Thematic army for Durthu is pretty much just like all forest spirits. Maybe toss in like 2 units of Zotes. And then just have like a nice balance of Forest Spirits with probably like 2 Branch Wraiths. That would be a really solid army for him. If you want, you could throw in like a Forest Dragon, maybe an Eagle or 2. Durthu like tolerates elves, so you can definitely have elves in your army, but he's not fond of them. Durthu kind of like has barely restrained violence when it comes to dealing with elves. I don't think I want a Doom Wheel in this army. I think I'd rather go... I think I am okay with Doom Flayers, though. And then let's maybe do... So I've got 2 artillery, 2 pseudo-artillery. I do want like a really strong line of Storm Vermin. Like 5. And then we've got a little bit more space left. I would not mind... Maybe we should get some Jezzails to, like, round us out. Like, just have, like, a very pew-pew heavy... Or some Warp Grinders could be good. Warp Grinders are super effective. You just stand behind the line and just mow people down. Witchcraft. When will the Chaos Dwarves Q&A be? Sometime in December. There's 1 or 2 things that need to happen before that project has, like, top priority. Okay, so Throt, I think we're going to have focus on just, like, plowing through all this stuff below us. Meanwhile, our other army will focus on defending us. Really want to see the Great Bastion in Game 3? Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to see the Great Bastion. I want to see what the Warhammer world does to make the Great Wall even more amazing. I got a delivery. Okay, I'll deal with that later. Which Warhammer characters from opposing factions would make the best buddy cop? So 2 characters that don't like each other but would work together in a really amusing fashion. That's a tough one. That is a legitimately difficult question to answer. Thankle and Skarsnik? Thankle and Skarsnik would be pretty wild. I would probably say 2 characters who you could see working together, but it would be like super obnoxious. I think one that would actually be pretty funny is if you did something along the lines of Shadowblade from the Dark Elves and Deathmaster Snikch. That would be pretty good. Like, they would completely and utterly hate each other, but they're also, like, the best assassins ever. Okay, and then I think to round out this army, we'll pick up, like, 2 assassin-themed units. So maybe, like, Night Runners or something. Petulant Scheme, I'm just gonna throw you way over into Middenheim and blow up. Let's just go make a mess. Teclis and Mazda Mundi? That would be pretty hilarious. Teclis and Mazda Mundi would be really funny. Teclis is trying to be all, like, wise and saving the world and stuff, and Mazda Mundi's just like... No, you know who the best buddy cop is? Do y'all know who the best duo of any setting ever would be? I'll tell you who it is. The best duo who would be... It would be hysterical to watch the 2 of them talk to one another and deal with one another would be Lord Croak and the Emperor of Mankind. That would be... I would pay so much money to have those two forced in a room together and have them have to interact. Because they would... There would be so much going on there. Alright. We have an Undercity in Karazakarak. Yes. Time to steal all their money. Actually, what does this cap out at? 50%? This is 10%. Okay, so we definitely want to do that. Yeah, both on text-to-speak devices. Oh my gosh. The Battle of Corpses? Dude, I would not want to be in the same reality as those two if they got into an argument. Like, you would just have, like, entire worlds and systems just exploding. Okay, we want to make sure this guy blows up far enough away that it doesn't work its way back to us. That's the important part. Are Zotes better uses of Lore of Life than the Slaawn? No, they're moderately comparable. They're kind of in the same ballpark. I always wanted to make, if Lord Croak had a text-to-speak device series. But I do not have the skill set for that. Whenever I would see people, like, using that animation system, to me it just looks like black sorcery. An additional unit to growth vats, minus 25% upkeep for each instability. Ward 10% ward save for units that have 4 or more augments. Boop.
Drop of this, slice of that.
Actually, yeah. Let's go ahead and get sample collectors.
Bits of many things.
And then I can upgrade my army a little bit more. I really don't like upgrading the RORs because if they become unstable, it turns into like a massive problem. But we can at least give like the pit fighters of Hell Pit the regen in close combat.
If not work, we eat things.
Same thing for Morscatars. Nice. Then let's work on my Wolf Rats. I would like to give them the Contaminated. Ah, dang it.
Aberration.
I'm willing to deal with one. Okay. Okay, his army is almost ready. I need like one more turn. Oh, I missed some bits on Twitch. Let's see. Redman. What reason do I think nobles / masters don't get griffin / manticores? I really want a true high elf air force. Let me double check something. Because I know you said nobles and masters. I know that if memory serves, I am pretty sure masters did have... Yep, they could ride manticores. And could the noble ride... Noble. Yeah, they could. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is maybe like a balance reason. Like the multiplayer guys. Because I say this with all the love in my heart. But I genuinely think that the multiplayer community sometimes causes the rule of cool to be violated. or like causes certain implementations from tabletop to not get seen to fruition due to like concerns that they might have. But I guess I'll have to start that bandwagon. I would really like to see the nobles get griffins and the masters get manticores. That would be really exciting for like just running like crazy armies. Oh no, commonness. Oh my gosh, feel better. Got corona confirmed today. Oh, that's scary. You make sure to take it easy and do whatever you need to do to stay safe, okay? I'm so sorry to hear that. I would really appreciate it on both chats if we could please get some good vibes for commonness. That is the opposite of a good time. You do your best to stay safe and stay healthy, or well, stay alive, you know. Get a lot of rest, drink a lot of fluids, all that jazz. Oh, thanks for giving Commonness a sub. MMO addicted. That is, I mean, that I know for me personally, that's the last thing I'd want to hear from someone in my family. It's just scary stuff. You know, I think you are totally justified to be scared about it. I would be too. But, you know, don't try not to dwell on it. You know, it's not going to do you any favors. Yeah, I am on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. You know, dwelling on it or obsessing about it is not going to do you any good. You know, just do what you can to get a lot of rest. Watch YouTube videos, drink lots of fluids, don't overexert yourself, just do what you can to keep your body relaxed and chill. You don't want to stress out and pump yourself full of cortisol, just do what you can to focus on other things. And stay in touch with your doctor, and make sure that if you need to go get higher quality medical care, you do that. You know, prioritize your safety. But, you know, you've got good vibes and thoughts and prayers from all of us. Thank you for the stretch. And you'll pull through. You got this. Hey, AOS Coach. What's up, dude? I saw your comment, and then I lost it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There we go. What am I expecting from Lizardmen in the old world? Honestly, I don't know. Here's what I'll say. I don't want to make any expectations towards Warhammer the Old World until I know more about it. Warhammer the Old World, which for those unaware is Games Workshop's like return to Warhammer Fantasy, is a very exciting prospect, but it's also a very scary prospect because nobody really knows what they're doing right now. Like, we know that Forge World seems to be handling it, but we don't know if it's going to be like exactly like what do you call it? The Horus Heresy, where like or if they're gonna like use a new template, but they're using Forge World's like production facilities in order to facilitate it. There's a lot of unknowns right now, which is pretty spooky. What I am hoping is that it'll basically be a return to the Warhammer Fantasy we all know and love, and then like once they have that established, then just continue to expand upon it and see like new types of units and new characters, as well as the return of a lot of old characters. But I refuse, for my own sanity, to make much in the way of predictions on it, just because I feel like too little. We just don't know enough right now. Hopefully we'll figure out. They'll be telling us more stuff here pretty soon in the new year. But like, there's so much misinformation about Warhammer the Old World that it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who like swear by their cousin that it's going to be the time of the Three Emperors. I do not share that. I've looked at a lot of what evidence has been provided by Games Workshop, and the people who say that it's the time of the Three Emperors are grasping at straws very much, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll have to see what happens. But I'm kind of hoping... I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. Like, I would really like the timeline to, like, start when Karl Franz is elected emperor, and then it just follows its own story. We'll have to see, though. Whoa! Okay, Chaos is here. So this is not the Archaon invasion. This is just the starter invasion. And there are 12 of them. Well, okay. And they're all starting off at level 10. Okay, so this is just the start of the Chaos invasion. Well, this is going to get complicated really quick. Well, time to throw you into the fire. Oh god, I'm gonna have to, like, fight the Empire and Chaos at the same time. I think what we might do, because I don't think I can negotiate with them, which is super obnoxious. I wish I could negotiate with them. Chaos, Chaos, Chaos. Yeah, no. I really wish I could team up with them. Hey, what's up, Queek? Wow, Queek has a huge empire. My lord. Alright, so we definitely want to be friends with Queek. But I am more focused on just trying to finish the short campaign victory before we get, like, drowned in chaos nonsense. We've accomplished every single thing, except for I need to destroy 8 cities that I haven't destroyed before. So we're just going to let Throt go on, like, a big rampage through, like, the Empire. And then we'll go from there. So I think, actually, maybe it'd be better for us to go through, like, the mountains. Let's go this way. But we're not going to try and defend this area. I think we're just going to fall back to Hell Pit and let Chaos hopefully bypass us and start slamming into the Empire. Oh, you know what I should do with Throt is go... I should jump across the mountains. Yeah, I should go dominate this area. That'll be easy. And Chaos won't follow me that way. I mean, honestly, when it comes to the end times, personally, I would be totally okay with Games Workshop, like, essentially taking another whack at it. Like, I would not be upset at all if Warhammer the Old World, like, started at the election of Karl Franz and then just started going forward and, like, eventually took us to the end times, but actually it was, like, a really slow progression through the end times, so we actually got to enjoy the story, and they, like, retconned it to make it make sense. What difficulty is my Chaos Invasion? Max. It's max difficulty. Hey, Atropine, what's up? AOS Coach, by the way, do you use Tabletop Sim ever for AOS, or are you purely physical? I thought Warhammer the Old World was set during the reign of the Three Emperors. No. Well, it might be, but the evidence for that is, like, really, really frail. A lot of people think that because they had a knee-jerk reaction to the map they showed off, but the map they showed does not correlate with the time of the Three Emperors. It doesn't have the right characters. Some of the characters that people are like, oh, that's so-and-so, are on the wrong factions. The only character that shows up on the map that correlates to the time of the Three Emperors is that there's a Magritta under Marienburg. But there's been more than one Magritta in Marienburg, and also the characters a lot of people think line up to the time of the Three Emperors that show up on the map do not, they're not alive during the same time. Like, some people look at that and they go, oh, that's Empress Magritta from the time of the Three Emperors. And then they're like, oh, and that's Emperor Sigismund from the time of the Three Emperors. Not realizing that Emperor Sigismund and Magritta lived hundreds of years apart from each other. Sigismund wasn't from Midland, he was from Reichland, because he was ruling in Altdorf, and he died in the siege of Altdorf from Gorbad Ironclaw. So, like, it doesn't match up. And some of those other characters are, like, not even remotely, like, they're not even somewhat from that time period. Also, we know it's going to have a big focus on Kislev, and Kislev was not a major player at all in the time of the Three Emperors. Not until the very, very end of it, when Azavar Kul invaded, and Magnus the Pious rode up to Kislev, and they had, like, their big war where they unified. So, like, the idea that it's based on the time of the Three Emperors is total garbage. It's so threadbare of a theory that I really personally don't give it any credence. Are there any vampire hunters? Yes. Many witch hunters specialize in undead or vampirism. For instance, if you play the Marcus Wolfhart campaign in Vortex or Mortal Empires, you'll notice one of his guys is Van Hal, one of the Van Hal clan. The Van Hal clan is purely dedicated to going after the undead. Purely. Oh, sorry, you were asking except for witch hunters. Yeah, there are people who hunt vampires on their own. Like, they're not associated with any religious order, which witch hunters are. There are, I wouldn't call them atheists, but there are, what's the word for, like, someone that's not associated with a religion? There's a word for it. Not like an atheist, but like a, no, not agnostic. There's a different word for it. It means, like, they're unaligned, but they're not, like, anti-religion. Secular. Yes, secular. I was thinking secular. There are secular types of hunters. Okay, looks like the Empire and Drycha are distracted with chaos. So I may just... Well, no. Stick to your guns, Sotek.
My axe thirsts for war.
That's a big army of dwarves. I really don't want to deal with it. I'm going to go dominate the clan Seatgore.
The great horned rat faith.
Yeah, I'm here to take over. Like, your base all belong to me now.
Read warp scroll. Tunnel under walls.
Well, I suppose we could do my emergency plan to expand our influence. Where would be a good place? Maybe Marienburg, Grunberg, Carroburg? I think we're gonna start preparing an invasion. Where to launch it from, though? Maybe Ubersreich? An invasion of Ubersreich might be fun. Yeah, let's do that. Let's invade Ubersreich. Let's pull a Vermintide scenario. I'm a recent AOS enthusiast. I want to know why first edition was considered so garbage. So the problem with first edition AOS was that it essentially followed right after the end times, which so to understand first edition AOS, you have to understand the end times. The end times for Warhammer Fantasy were a mess. It was like a complete shit show that destroyed a lot of the conventions of Warhammer Fantasy and upset a lot of the audience because it was really, really rushed and they were just trying to kind of get it out the door. You can have it. And like it caused a massive series of issues that left a lot of bad feelings in people's mouths. And so a lot of us, myself included, were kind of waiting and waiting and waiting for something to show up for AOS to kind of make our initial judgments on it. And what ended up happening is that when AOS finally showed up, it was a bizarre game right out the gate. There was no point system. The first armies they introduced were essentially the Khorne models from the end times, which we were already kind of familiar with, but like they were going mono god, which was new. Well, it wasn't new, but it was new for people who had played Fantasy through like 6th edition forward. And they were also doing. They also introduced the Stormcast, and the Stormcast Eternals were just Space Marines. Now, I will say, it's become a lot. Stormcast are much more interesting now than they were back then. But the Stormcast were literally, when they were introduced, it was basically that Games Workshop at the time had thought to themselves, well, we sell a lot of Space Marines. People really like Space Marines. So if we want to make money selling fantasy, we need to sell fantasy Space Marines. That's the obvious answer. That's the only way fantasy is going to make lots of money. So they introduced Stormcast, which a lot of people not fondly referred to as Sigmarines. And the other thing was that the lore was all over the place and was a complete mess. Like, a lot of it didn't really make... Because the thing about AOS, when AOS was first introduced, is that AOS, when it was first introduced, was not the start of a new universe. So it wasn't like they went, okay, we know you've been waiting for this, and so let's introduce you guys to the universe, here's the beginning. Instead, they pulled this really bizarre move where they said, okay, just kidding, you're not actually starting at the beginning of the universe, you're starting thousands of years after this universe has already been established. And not only did you miss out on the founding of this universe, but instead of that, we now, not only did you miss out on the founding of the universe, but you also missed out on the founding, the Age of Myth, when Sigmar, like, awakened all the gods, and they all teamed up and gathered together, and they had, like, an alliance of gods, and they built everything, and it was a time of, like, colossal monsters and all this stuff. And you missed out on the Age of Chaos. So it turned out that Age of Sigmar had its own version of the end times, and they skipped it. So now when you're trying to read AOS lore, you're going, okay, so there was the world that was, the end times, the space between these two realms, Sigmar gets resurrected by Dracothian, and the Age of Myth begins. Then there's the Age of Chaos, which is another end times. Then there's the Age of Sigmar. And so Age of Sigmar First Edition starts at the Age of Sigmar, which is when Sigmar strikes back against the forces of Chaos. And they're trying to get you really hard to care about all these places and ideas and characters who, by Age of Sigmar standards, have been around forever. But by the standards of you actually being introduced to the universe, have only been around for like 5 minutes. And it was really confusing, and a lot of people were like, this is really dumb. And it was really difficult to follow. And the other thing was that the quality of the books they were printing at the time were really poor. Compared to what we have now in AOS. Like, here, I'll show you. So this is, what's a good example? Here is a first edition book for the Skaven. Here's a second edition book for the Skaven. If you played first edition Skaven, your options for AOS, your options were... Sorry, my green screen's kind of blotting it out. But this was it. This is all you got. If you played Skaven in Fantasy, you were used to all 4 Greater Clans and then the Warlord clans. If you played AOS first edition, or when you jumped over to AOS, you got Skaven Clan Pestilence, which is a very short book because the amount of units it has are only what were the only units in this book? You ready? Here's the full range. Here's the full range for the army. You ready? You got a Vermin Lord, a single Vermin Lord. You got a Plague Furnace. You got 2 types of Plague Priest. Plague Monks. Plague Censer Bearers. Plague Claw Catapult. That's it. That's your entire army. If you play Skaven, this is the only book you got. Now, in second edition, They realized that was stupid. They realized that sucked. So they released this book, which has smaller print, less space between all the words, way more lore, focus on tons of characters, has all the greater clans in it because it's the Skaven book. It's a much bigger book. It's got tons of units instead of like 5. And it also wasn't like, and the other thing is that from a competitive standpoint, if you were playing competitive, well, competitive didn't exist. When first edition came out, there were no points. There was no point system whatsoever. And when Games Workshop got criticized on the fact that there were no points and the rules were disgustingly simple. There were 4 pages of rules. You want to see the entire rule set? Granted, a lot of the rules were moved to like the units, but this was the entire rules. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. That's it. That's all the rules. That's the entire complexity of the entire game. That's deployment. That's everything. And it was shocking going from fantasy to that. It felt like AOS got rushed out, and they just didn't know what they were doing. There were no points, so you couldn't play competitive at all. Games Workshop just looked at everybody and was like, "Oh, just put what you like on the table. That's balanced." Or whoever has the least models, that's balanced. And like Games Workshop at the time were just assholes about it. Like they literally just looked everybody in the face and everyone was like, how do I play this? And Games Workshop literally said, they were like, "Oh, this is meant to be more of like a beer and pretzel experience. This is supposed to be like casual." So to all the people who play competitive fantasy, it was the biggest fuck you I've ever gotten in my life from Games Workshop. And there was a lot of FUs from GW back in the day. Now things are great. Like, I get really passionate when I talk about first edition. First edition AOS made me hate Games Workshop. Like, I didn't play the game. Like, I collected some of the books and I hated it. But they were very different back then. I mean, that was like 2015. Like 2014 to like 2015 was really bad. It was really, really bad. Nowadays, Age of Sigmar is awesome. Like, oh yeah, that was the other thing. Games Workshop also spit in the face of Warhammer Fantasy players because they released what were called the Grand Alliance books. I have one of them here. Grand Alliance. So this was the first. So if you did not want to play with the new stuff, you wanted to play with your old models, you had to buy this thing. This thing's huge. Barely had any lore, but it was basically just to give you rules for like everything. The problem was when you this actually isn't the worst one. There was some earlier rules before this, but when they introduced the first rules, the game was such a beer and pretzels game that the rules were jokes. Richard Tufts. So, like, in first edition, if you wanted to play dwarves, if you had a unit of longbeards, which are still in AOS, and are still a usable unit, and they're still pretty good, if you wanted to play dwarves, there was a rule for longbeards where I believe if you attacked, I think it was for attacking, if you had a longer beard than your opponent, you could reroll failed to hits. Or if you were playing Bretonia, and you were using Bretonia models, if you had Grail Knights, if you had some kind of chalice or grail, then you would have to, like, toast it and shout something like "for the lady" or whatever, and that would let you, like, reroll your charge distance. I'm not fucking around. These were rules as written. Right? So, like, we're all looking at it and we're like, what the fuck is this? Like, like, they literally looked at it and they were like, oh, what do fantasy players want? What do people want who've spent thousands of dollars on this hobby? Thousands of dollars supporting our company. Like, what do people want? Oh, well, they want fucking joke rules, right? Like, imagine if Magic the Gathering came out with one of their joke sets, and instead of it being like a side edition, they were like, no, this is the game now. Like, you're playing Magic the Gathering, you're not allowed to play with... No, all your old cards are totally discontinued. We have updated the rules for your cards, and now it's all the joke rules. Don't you fucking love us? Aren't we fucking hilarious? That's the meta now. Oh, what? You spent hundreds and thousands of dollars on old Magic? Well, you're just a hater, man. You're just part of the old guard. You're just part of the old guard. Why don't you just get with the times? Like, fuck Games Workshop. That was obnoxious. And like, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Why did they do that? Because they were idiots. There's no other explanation than they were greedy idiots. The Games Workshop at the time was only focused on trying to sell new models, which meant the new AOS models. So from a business perspective, it was in their interest to make all of the old fantasy models as terrible as possible and to eliminate them from the game. That way people would want to buy the new models. And on top of that, Games Workshop thought that the reason fantasy failed as a game was because it was too competitive. It was too complicated. They thought that was what it was about. And they were wrong. They were 100% wrong. The reason that fantasy failed was because Games Workshop stopped supporting it in a meaningful way, and they made the money, and they had a horrible power creep system. Now, let me be clear. Modern Age of Sigmar is amazing. It's so good. Modern Age of Sigmar is so good that I literally went out and bought the entirety of the first edition campaign set known as the Realmgate Wars because I want to know the lore so bad of what happened. Because sometimes they kind of reference things. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't have that book. I need to get that book. And now the AOS lore is awesome. Like, I'm literally buying limited edition prints of any of the books I can get my hands on. Like, I bought limited edition Morothy. I have the limited edition Seraphon book. My store still has like a limited edition copy of, I think, the Sons of Behemoth I'm gonna pick up soon. Like, and a lot of the war, and the thing is the current Games Workshop looked at AOS and was like, oh, people don't like this. People really don't like this. And in first edition, they tried so hard to make the Stormcast Eternals like Space Marines. That's what they wanted them to be at first. And you could tell because they just kept releasing new books for the Stormcasts. So in first edition, not only... Sorry, I'm off on a huge tangent. Not only did they release Stormcast Eternals as a book, but you weren't able to, like, if you played somebody else, the Stormcast got 4 books in first edition. 4! You had Stormcast, you had the Extremis Chamber, you had the Vanguard Chamber, and then I think you had some other chamber. But there was, like, so much Stormcast. And they were so dumb. They were just Space Marines. And it was infuriating if you played anything else. Like, because you were like, fucking stop. Just, like, let me play a different army. Oh, it was just those 3? Well, still, that was too many. So... And now, that's over. In second edition, you know how many Stormcast books have been in second edition? Fucking 1! 1 book, which is all they needed. You got 1 book for Stormcast Eternal in second edition. And they're way cooler now, because they don't show up everywhere. They just show up sometimes. So you're like, oh, the Stormcast showed up. I wonder what they're up to, because you haven't seen them in a while. And, like, you start getting attached to the various chambers. And Games Workshop realized, oh, maybe instead of just flooding the market with Stormcast, What if we just develop the story of the Stormcast so they're actually interesting and you actually become invested in some of the characters and some of the chambers? But they don't need to be in every book. They only show up in a couple books. And instead of making them like immortal super warriors, they were like, okay, what if we toned it down a bit and we made it more like they're humans that have these really crippling issues that are dealing with a lot of emotional trauma, and when they die, there's actually really serious ramifications to their deaths because they lose a part of themselves every time they die. And now they're on this big saga where they're trying to find a way to make it so that death isn't such a horrifying experience for them. Because their version of death is arguably worse than actually just dying normally in AOS. And it's like, oh, this is actually good now. Loki, thanks so much for the tip, my dude. How much from the truth is the fact that the biggest vampire hunter guild is in Astalia? That's not resonating with the biggest hunters of vampires are the cults of Mor. Which the cults of Mor have most of their primary power in the Empire and Talea. Richard Tuss, thanks for the tip, my dude. Why is it good now? Sell me on it, because I hate it personally and always have, but if you think it's okay, I might sell my position. I might change my position. Okay, so here's the deal. Alright? Okay, so I'm gonna finish this point and then we gotta move on. Here's the point with AOS and why it's good now. First of all, AOS has way more factions, but the factions don't suffer from bloat. The factions have like a focused point that they zero in on, and most of them are divided into 3 sub-factions that allow you to focus aspects of that faction or combine them in really cool ways. And almost, I'm not going to say every, but almost every fantasy faction now has a descendant in AOS that follows a lot of the core concepts and ideology and aesthetic that probably will call to you. And when you read those books, you'll see that the current Games Workshop looks and they go, people really like this character or this idea from fantasy. So how about instead of just throwing in the trash, we give like an ode or maybe bring a character back that people really liked. Like they just brought back Sigvald the Magnificent. And it's not like he literally just popped out of a hat like they do in first edition. In first edition, if they brought a character back, a lot of the time they don't explain it. They're just like, oh, the character's back, fucking deal with it. In second edition, they go, no, screw that. People want to know. People want to understand why somebody's back. They want to know, hey, where's this person been? What happened to them in the end times? So they're like, okay, we're bringing back Sigvald. How is Sigvald going to be brought back? Well, let's not bring him back right away. Let's leave a hint in the end of, the start of second edition. So at the start of second edition, leading into second edition, they released this book. This book's called Malign Portents. Really, really cool book that was setting us up for second edition. And they're all this build up to second edition. They're like, oh man, all these different gods are getting visions of all of existence being wiped out. What's going on? Something's happening. Something's going on with Nagash. We gotta stop him. So there's a whole event where they allowed the community to participate. So the community's participating in like bi-weekly events where you can go to your local store, you play games, and depending on who's winning, they have these cool little trackers on their website. And you're like, oh, okay, so you can actually like participate in the event. Did it really matter? Not a ton, but it kind of determined like what happened, and it was fun. And there were cool little there were a lot of really cool short stories to show how the setting was becoming more grimdark and more rooted. It's not grimdark like 40k, it's grimdark like fantasy, which fantasy isn't really grimdark. It's more like hopeful grimdark, which in that case is not grimdark. It's explicit. Grimdark is explicitly without hope, but fantasy always had hope. Anyway, but like, so Malign Portents builds up to this whole event of Nagash getting literally godlike powers. Like, he already was a god, but now he's like big boy god. Now he's like, is basically his own pantheon type god. And you're like, wow, this is crazy. But in the midst of all this, there's an event where a mirror gets found. And they talk about how the mirror has the most vain soul existence in it. And a lot of people focused on that when it happened, myself included. We read that and we go, oh, who is that? The most vain soul in existence. Is that Sigvald? Is it Cetra? I wonder who it is. I wonder who it is. And then we kind of forgot about it. You know, time moved on. And then in 2nd edition, lo and behold, Sigvald comes back. And the AOS devs and the AOS writers go, hey, you remember that event in Malign Portents? Well, if you do, guess what? It was Sigvald. And if you followed the story of that mirror, guess what? You know what's going to happen. And it's like, oh shit, it was Sigvald. And they say, yeah, so when the end times happens, you know, Slaanesh gets captured, the world blows up. And because Slaanesh isn't there, you have Nagash find Sigvald's soul. Because Slaanesh, being the vain asshole he is, totally abandons Sigvald because he's too busy munching on elven souls. But Nagash wasn't dead, so Nagash sees Sigvald and is like, you! Because Sigvald killed Krell, and Nagash is still pissed about that. So Nagash grabs Sigvald, chucks him in a mirror, and curses him with a curse that whoever looks in the mirror will see the best version of themselves, but never see Sigvald. Which is hilarious, and that's like a really good punishment for Sigvald. But now, because Slaanesh has given birth to a baby, and like Slaanesh has grown in power, the Hedonites of Slaanesh, who are Slaanesh's faction, who were looking for Slaanesh, so they were drawn to anything they think might be related, that they think might be their god. The Hedonites of Slaanesh find out about this mirror fragment, and they're like, whoa, so there's a magical mirror shade glass that has the most vain soul in existence. Maybe that's Slaanesh. So they perform this ritual and they shatter the mirror and Sigvald pops out. And hey, Sigvald's back now. And it's like, that makes sense. And that's a really cool storyline. And like, when the new Hedonites of Slaanesh book comes out, I'm really excited to read it because I want to know all the nitty-gritty details of what Sigvald's been up to. That's good storytelling. And that's just Sigvald. That's not even focusing on like the major events. The other thing is, if you're a competitive player, you get yearly support in AOS. They actively put out FAQs. They actively answer questions from the community. If something is super overpowered, they'll actually like put out, maybe not as fast as we would like, but they'll at least put out an FAQ that'll fix it. And every year, guaranteed, you get one of these. Every year, which is the General's Handbook. General's Handbook comes out, and it's got new rules. It rebalances the game. It addresses things. It adds in new ways to play. Like in this most recent one, my favorite feature of this new book, the 2020, is character creation. You can create your own characters now. Just like you could in Fantasy. Almost like Fantasy was really good. And AOS should maybe take lessons from its older brother. It's awesome. I can make a Saurus. And I can customize him to do what I want him to do. He's probably not going to be, like, amazing, but he'll be pretty decent. There's no rules preventing you from doing the Grail Toast? No, if you want a Grail Toast, you can Grail Toast to your heart's content. Alright, I think that's enough of a tangent. I am so sorry. I had to address that. I had to address that. Alright, anyway. Let's get back to it. Oh god, we gotta put the metal pedal to the metal. Yeah, like, trust me, for all the people out there who hate AOS, I get it. I totally get it, guys. I was one of those people. Like, when AOS started, I don't want to impede the Chaos Invasion. I want to help the Chaos Invasion. I will gladly let them destroy all my stuff if it means they'll go down into the Empire. They can destroy all the stuff of mine they want, as long as they start attacking the forces of order. I'm just going to hide and help it. Zernoff, you shut your mouth! Okay, let's go ahead and capture Karak Vlag. I'm just gonna kind of slip around the Chaos Forces. The only thing I'm really interested in defending is Hell Pit. Everything else can just burn, as far as I'm concerned. But Hell Pit will remain strong. And I will laugh as Chaos burns the world. Which is more likely or works better in your mind? Nagash is a hero or Nagash is a lord? I feel like they're equally likely, to be honest. I don't think any one is particularly better or worse than the other. There are different merits to both. If you want Nagash to be like a entity who can be recruited in every single campaign, so that players don't have to like buy a new like faction, and like it supports the factions that are already there instead of encouraging people to play a new one, then Nagash as a legendary hero works better. If you want Nagash to represent like undead legions, and you want them to be all about like, you want Nagash to have a system where he's, like, collecting all the other undead, and maybe there's more of, like, a world-spanning campaign revolving around him as being, like, super god tier, and, like, building up over time, well, then you probably want him as a legendary lord. Are there any Lizardman cities/ruins in the old world? Not cities, but there are a lot of Lizardman things still in the old world. Yes. Ah, Plague Furnace! How many more do I need? I need 6 more 6 more settlements. Oh god, he's totally coming for Hell Pit. Hold the line! I'm a little disappointed that the Chaos-themed factions cannot, like, negotiate with Chaos. I need to put in a ticket with them about that. Like, I really feel like the Skaven, and Norska should be allowed to, like, negotiate with the Chaos Hordes instead of just automatically being enemies. Oh, come get it, assholes. Yeah, I would like Morathi to be able to as well. I really hope they, like, really go hard on... Since Morathi already does the whole Chaos Corruption thing, I would really like them to lean into that really hard. Okay, we're gonna full heal, and then we'll head out. Let's take training. I have a very good army to defend the city with. So if he thinks he's just gonna walk in here and take my shit, he's in for a surprise.
The doom comes. Bring it down.
What does the Clan Moulder Stone do? It's actually hilariously powerful. It heals you 1,058 health, and it also resurrects dead troops. Those new settlements are throwing you off. I actually really like the new settlements to the east. Hookah Goal? Thank you. Hammond, that's gonna be a no from me, dog. Hell Pit's under attack! You will not have this city! Christopher Stevens, thanks for the tip, my dude. Oh, dude, Christopher Stevens, I love Night Haunt. I actually play Night Haunt in, like, competitive. I had really good success with Night Haunt, though I think you have to play them a very particular way right now, they're a tiny bit out of date. They could definitely use an update, but I love playing them. All right, Chaos does not have any ways to really harass us on the walls besides their hell cannons, so I think we're gonna focus on holding the walls because he's gonna have to like drag us off of it, kicking and screaming. And I've got a tier 5 city, and Fort Towers for Skaven are like hilariously powerful. We will hold this city! Onto the ends of the earth. There's so many Plague Monk Censer Bearers, holy crap. There's actually, so for anyone, Christopher Stevens, I'm going to say this, I'm going to do a plug here. For anyone who's actually really interested on getting, granted, it's a different country, so you have to kind of take their meta with a grain of salt, because meta will shift from nation to nation. But if you want a really good look at, like, meta play and kind of try and have your pulse on, like, what's going on in AOS, there's a YouTube channel called AOS Coach that I highly recommend. He has, like, he does a really good job over there and does, like, interviews with players from different countries that play different armies. Like, I watch that crap all the time. So I would really recommend checking that out. If that's, like, something you're interested in. And he's actually here in chat. Don't, like, brigade him, though. I will be upset if y'all are rude. Let's have the Giselles hold in the back. Like, I'm literally only, like... I'm only in tune with, like, the meta at my local hobby store, which is very laser-focused. How big is my ballistics calibration? Okay, I can reach everybody with that. Let's have the Warlord hold near the center of the city. I don't want him fighting, I don't think. We'll keep the Chieftain near him for bodyguard. I guess he can fight. Ashen Sorcerer we'll put over here. What else I got? You're gonna stay there. What else do I have available? I've got... Ooh! Weeping Blades. Very nice. Those will be super helpful in holding off warriors. Maybe let's put one per side to keep it a little more balanced. Clan Rats can hold this part of the wall. And we've got 3 Hell Pits. Oh my gosh. We'll put one in each gate. And we'll put one, I guess, back in the center. We'll put Doom Wheels on either flank. Not Doom Wheels, whatever those are. I got a Plague Priest and another Warlock Engineer. Okay, this Warlock Engineer will hang out in the center to do Warp Lightning Bombs. And Plague Priest will hang out over here for Poison Attack spam. Okay, and then we want Guard Stance on all of our range stuff. Alright, Chaos. Come meet your doom. Focus the Hell Cannon! It's literally the only thing that can hurt me. Beautiful volley. Okay, as soon as they get in range... Yeah! Hit it! Oh, those knights are super dead. Yeah, Chaos is... They're not getting close to my city. Hell Cannon's gone. Oh, I don't have warp bombs? Lame. Rat ogres. Let's reinforce this gate. This is the gate that's going to need the most help. And we'll send the plague priest over there as well. Kill them all! Oh, good. They're climbing. Let them have it! Warp lightning! Whoa, hold your fire. Let's not friendly fire quite that hard, please. Thank you. Let's bring our warp grinders over here. Does this work on throw on a wall? No. Okay. Just keeping our eye out for more explosions. You get in there. Warp lightning. Globadiers, fire! Oh, y'all can't reach over the stupid thing. Oh, God. Storm vermin. Move. Globadiers. Get over here. Quick, quick.
It shall be done.
Stop them. Let's fire. There. Ballistics calibration. Open fire. You guys. Hit it.
Yes, sire. Where are the things? Spell casting. Attack!
No, I want y'all over here.
Storm vermin. Warp grinder.
Hell pit, come here. They actually managed to get through there. Warp lightning cannon. Let's come aim this way. Gisele's aim this way.
Warlock engineer.
You lot pull back. Get down here.
Warp grinder. Escape of death.
Get in there, you lot. Storm vermin, let's hold up. Clan rats, you can go back there.
Storm vermin. Climax spears. Yes, yes. Escape of death, yes. Warp grinder. Warlock engineer.
Gotta make chaos work for it. Let's focus down. Oh, okay, I lost control of that tower. That's fine. Let's focus down those sorcerer lords.
Lord of stealth.
Mortars, over here, please. Gisele's. Yeah, there you go.
What orders? Like the wind. Just
That'll work.
so.
Okay, I need all of you except the council guard on this flank. Whoop. You make sure they leave. Help it kill their lord. I do not have control of this flank. I do have control of the right flank, but that's also not where reinforcements are coming from. You come to the center. Fire! That'll do it.
As you wish. Yes. Yes, yes. What order?
Other side. Let's get our general out of there.
Yes, yes, yes. Poison, sweet water. Guide us forward.
Nothing a mortar barrage can't handle. General, fall back to the center.
Yes, yes, moved.
Freaking Chaos Knights.
Good. Now, now.
I'll wait on that for a hot second. Orders, hold your fire. Thank you. Oh god, get back in the gate! Oh, they've got hell cannons back. Delightful. Death runners, let's shut those down. Focus the cannons, please.
Great plans, CC. Move, move. Guide us, spawned one. Fight, fight. Clan rat spears. For the Vermintide.
Okay, that thing's down. We just gotta get control of this flank and we'll be alright. Some of my Skaven are cleared from Astalia. What makes you say that? Kill the giant! Escort them out. Volley!
For the burning tide. What orders?
Volley! Now!
Warp grinder. Now, ready, now. Faster, scurry. Poison, water. On Brad's will.
This is gonna be a little dicey.
Fierce, baby. Maga, kill.
To the city! To the center of the city! I really hope this is the last army.
Ready. Kill.
Oh god, I'm out of ammo.
I think ready. Go. Spells of blood. Die.
Where are my pork grinders? Perfect. Wait for it, and lock him.
Ready.
Sorcerer! Ninja stars! Now! Giselles, fall back! Okay, I need you guys. Chase them. Fire! Bring it down! Bring it down! Oh jeez, there's like a whole horde coming from behind us. Lock him down!
As you wish.
Oh, you've got a volley left. Oh, I'm out of ammo? Are you kidding me? Good grief, this is literally coming down to like the absolute wire. Drop! You gotta get rid of the chaos spawn, guys. Where is their last general? If I could kill him, we might be able to salvage something.
Bloody whiskers! Voila!
There's still so many giants! And this Chaos Invasion is pretty rough when you're playing Hell Pit, because there's not a lot of give space between you and it.
No! Magic! Done! Back on the ground!
Apparently Pestigors were mentioned in the new White Dwarf. Yeah, probably for Blood Bowl reasons. Yep, nope, we lost Hell Pit. Oh, man. We can go ahead. We need the... I could replay it, and I'd probably win it on a second playthrough. I reinforced the right flank too much, and the left flank too little. Well, thank you, White. Yeah, I suffered way too many casualties on the... I reinforced the right flank way over much. That's not a huge deal, though. With a new chieftain hero, do you think we might get Scott Bloodtail as a legendary hero? I don't think he would be like a legendary hero. I think he would just be like a slightly unique hero. Not a huge deal. Let's continue heading south.
Warlock engineer.
All you can do is block army. You're practically useless. Luckily, most of our income is from undercities, so like losing our capital is kind of like, eh. So we're gonna have Throt continue to head south until I get this objective done. Once this objective is done, we'll head back for Hell Pit. Do I think the Skink Oracle will be a Lord hero or just a single unit? It'll probably be a Lord. I don't know what it would be as a hero. Like, we have every single hero slot covered. The only type of Lord we don't have, like a generic Lord, is the generic, like a generic Skink caster. Oh. Spread rotten decay. Ooh, let's get hallucinogenics. Yeah, that'll be nice. Okay.
Master Lord of Hellpit. Scapper stop. Is food meat there? Blast balls.
At least we're out of Chaos's way now, so hopefully... I feel like something's wrong with the Chaos Invasion, because the Chaos Invasion is now invading Norska, and it's completely ignoring the Order Tide. No, I should have won the fight at Hell Pit. I just goofed up my deployment. Oh. I'm curious to see what Chaos is gonna do. Like, if they end up invading Norska entirely, okay, this city I think I'll hold on for a little bit. If all they do is attack Norska, then CA screwed up, and CA needs to fix it, which I have a bad feeling they did, because the whole point of the Warrior Invasion is it's really supposed to kind of keep the Order Tide in check. Also, if I had not auto-resolved every battle leading up to Hell Pit, then we almost assuredly would have won that easily, because the casualties that I will deal in this fight compared to the casualties I dealt, like, the problem was those armies came in fully healed, because I very arrogantly believed that I would be able to chop them down. Actually, we're gonna play very cheekily this time. So our goal here will be to take out the Hell Cannon and then peace out to a more defensible position. So we're going to leave our fastest units in charge of all the towers. And then the rest of our army is going to hold in a defensive position around the core. Because wall fighting is kind of hard. Oh, whoops. There we go. I want that hell cannon gone. We also didn't have any warp bombs, which sucked. I don't know why I didn't have warp bombs. I guess I didn't have the right building? Oh, right, because I don't have the garrison building in Hell Pit. Ah, that sucks. I just realized that. Because garrison, or because it has a pre-built garrison, it doesn't get the garrison upgrade building. That's a bummer. Okay, there we go. Just have it shoot a couple last few volleys. Take out some troops here and there. If I had had the warp bombs, that would have been like 1,000 times easier. And let's go. Nope. Let's get out of here. To me! To me! We'll just leave the clan rats up here. Actually, let's use them intelligently. Get down here, goofballs. We're gonna suicide bomb the clan rats. What's the biggest creature in Warhammer? Probably the Thunder Lizards. It's either the Thunder Lizards or Krakenrock the Black. One of those two. Krakenrock the Black is the first of the Dragon Ogre race. Good job. Yeah. Boom! Lovely. Good job, Plague Monks. Fall back. You hold this line! Globadeers! Give him a volley! And hold. Volley! Hold. Activate, heal. Oh yeah, Sky Titans. Yeah, I'd probably go with Sky Titans. They're the largest thing. Volley! You have to be really careful with these guys, Because the amount of friendly fire damage they do is just insane. Hold them in place. I don't care if we friendly fire those guys. Fire! Yes, good. Good. Suicide bomb! Boom! Hold your fire! Warp lightning! Rat ogres! Take the flank! Plague monks! Forward! You lot, kill the general. Take out the trolls. Take down the enemy general. He just led his own guys right into that. Kill the general! Globeteers, follow them. What do I think will be the focus of the next Broken Realms book? I think it's going to be Slaanesh. I think it's probably going to be Slaanesh and, like, a big war amongst maybe the other Dark Gods. Because you know Slaanesh is going to want revenge for, like, the betrayal of Tzeentch. Plus, Khorne is an Ascendant right now. Like, Khorne's the strongest of the Dark Gods, and Slaanesh is his opposite. So I think it's going to be about the new Slaanesh baby. Like, taking its place on the Pantheon, while simultaneously there will probably be some fallout among the forces of Order. I don't think a Malarian's probably going to show up until the end. I think a Malarian will probably be like one of the last things we see in Broken Realms. Take out those Chaos Spawn. We're just going to decimate this army as much as possible. Good job, everyone! That was a well-executed siege. It helps when it's not like 4 armies against 1 that, you know, point stands. Alright, speed up time. Alright, we'll let the towers pick off some stragglers, and then we're good. Digipichu, that would be pretty funny. They're just like, oh god! Get that last second heal in. Make the garrison in the best shape I can. There we go. Heroic victory. Assume Slaanesh was a girl. Slaanesh is almost always referred to in Warhammer Fantasy with male pronouns, but Slaanesh is technically kind of like everything at once. In 40k, Slaanesh, at least by the Eldar, is referred to using female pronouns because they call Slaanesh she who thirsts. But in fantasy, Slaanesh is virtually always referred to by male noises. Of course I would hold off Chaos at frickin' Kislev of all places.
Bring me meat for
But if you were to, like, if Slaanesh were to see you, you would probably appear as, like, Slaanesh's, like, or Slaanesh would appear as your greatest desire. Whatever that entails.
Master Lord of Hellpit.
Silver Pinnacle does not have a super garrison.
I am Throt the Unclean.
Yoink.
Clan eat well now.
Want your money. And then I'll take your city because I'm a jerk. The Lamian Sisterhood is destroyed. Nice. Always good to be marching around and not leaving enemies behind you.
I must eat feed. We warp skull. Last balls.
As the Horned Rat is now one of the 4, how do the other Chaos Gods think of him? They hate him, to be honest. Rip stream. What? Nope, it's fine on my end. Yeah, no. Korn, Zinch, and Korn and Zinch particularly really dislike the Great Horned Rat. All 3 of them very much view the Horned Rat as beneath them, which the Horned Rat is keenly aware of. But he just sort of, like, owns it as being, like, the underdog of the 3 and tries not to worry too much about it, I think. But, the big thing for him is that, well, granted, the Horned Rat's kind of going through a lot right now because his personalities got shattered. So he got turned into a bunch of different godheads as opposed to being a singular entity anymore, which is a little distracting. Which hopefully they'll resolve that storyline sooner rather than later, because it's kind of hard to, like, have the Horned Rat be doing anything when he's, like, constantly been turned into a bunch of other little stuff.
Mix. New aberration.
Man, I really like tanky stuff.
Give creation thing life.
I got 45 left. Let's augment some of our infantry. Let's augment Blake. Oh, I could give them perfect vigor. I could give them death frenzy. Oh, I could put death frenzy on Bladescap's Blade Pack. Yes, please. That is hilarious. What happened to the Great Horned Rat? I'm not really sure. I have to reread the book. I can't quite remember what caused him to split. Does Archaon feel the same way? Yeah, Archaon does not like the Horned Rat. The Horned Rat actually tried to, like, kiss up to Archaon to be like, hey, you're the Everchosen, don't you want my blessing? And Archaon basically did the equivalent, like the anime equivalent of just, like, lifting back his boot and just, like, slamming it into the Horned Rat's face. Alright, I think it's time for us to go to war with the dwarves. As much as I've been avoiding it, because I know it's going to turn into, like, a whole thing, I don't think we can afford to delay much longer. God, how many of his cities are defended by, like, massive armies? You know what I need? I need, like, a master assassin whose job is to just hide. That way they can retake Hell Pit when the time comes. Who is Leandra and Eldraya? The High Elf characters? Eldraya is Tyrion's squire. Eldraya is the daughter of one of Tyrion's best friends who was killed by He was killed by the Dark Elf Executioner special character. And she's considered, and ever since she became Tyrion's squire, she's gone on to become a noble hero in her own right. And she is considered she's considered like the leading character of Tyrannok. So she's like the big badass princess of Tyrannok. Princess Eldraya actually fought against Sigvald, and she actually managed to beat him. The way she fought Sigvald, though, was by deliberately like staying away from him. Yeah, Talaris Dreadbringer killed her. Or killed Eldraya's dad. But, yeah, the way Eldraya combated Sigvald was very, very clever, because she figured that what he wanted was to get, you know, embroiled in, like, endless conflict in the name of Slaanesh. So instead of giving that to him, she deliberately stayed away from him and kept drawing him into, like, really annoying engagements that prevented him from using, like, his full strength. And that put him in a bad enough spot that he could no longer afford to... he got bored, essentially. And when he got bored, he ended up leaving. I'm just trying to look for, like, a vulnerable area I can attack. And the dwarves are making this irritatingly difficult. What happened to the Sisters of Twilight and Daith during the End Times? Daith was killed in the Battle of the Gaean Vale, where... It might have not been exactly at the Gaean Vale, but he died in Avalorn, where they had the big fight between, like, Orion, Durthu, Erloth, Alariel. So it was, like, all the Wood Elves and a couple High Elves versus Tyrion and Morathi, along with a bunch of other special characters. There was a ton of characters in that fight, and a bunch of people died. But Daith was killed by, like, a really random Sister of Slaughter. Ah, Clan Eshin.
Yes, we hear.
I wonder, does joining their confederation count? Let's do an experiment. Hello? And the Sisters, we don't know what happened to the Sisters of Twilight. They were there and then they kind of vanished. Does that count, I wonder? It does! Awesome! Awesome! We did it! We have all the territory we need. Now I just need to reclaim Hell Pit and defend it. That's all that's left. Yes! Yes! What happened to the Wood Elves after the End Times? They all died. Everybody died. Alariel was reborn into... Okay, Chief Doomclaw. Oh, Chief Doomclaw. Hey, that's Clan Rictus's boss. I'm going to destroy all of you now. I'm so sorry. No hard feelings. Goodbye. I don't... What? No. Oh, my God. No, all of you disband. Oh, Doomclaw backstabbed me. Typical. I don't have time for any of you. Be gone. Why can I not disband? Oh my gosh. Whatever, it's only 500 income, and I don't care about any of that. I just want to go north. I lost Hell Pit. Yeah, four Warriors of Chaos armies dogpiled it, and I screwed up the siege. Anyway, Alariel was reborn in AOS as the Goddess of Life. And after she was reborn as the Goddess of Life, she created the Sylvaneth, who... The Sylvaneth, you can kind of think are the descendants of the old school Wood Elves. But the actual, like, Wood Elves are a faction called the Wanderers, who make up a part of... they make up a part of... Ooh.
Almighty Lord.
Shut up. They make up a part of the Cities of Sigmar. And then there's also been a new faction that's been introduced, but we haven't seen a lot of them yet, called the Karnathi. And the Karnathi seem like they're gonna be like the Wild Riders and all that kind of stuff. You. No, you. Yes, you.
On your
Go to Hell Pit. Hurry! Okay, I don't care about any of this. I really don't care. Yeah, the Karnathi look really interesting. What the hell are Root Kings? That's not ringing a bell for me. Any new news? So just news. That would just be news. That's literally what news means. Anyway, any news on Warhammer the Old World? Not yet. Probably not until January at the earliest.
ready, ready.
Oh, the Empire took Hell Pit? That's not gonna fly. Throt! Where are you?
Think me fool.
Let's go! Oh, the Root Kings were the Gyran Dwarden. Okay, cool. Yeah, every one of the realms has various, like, sub-factions depending on where in the realms they are. So, like, if you have Seraphon, for instance, or Lizardmen, the Lizardmen will be probably pretty different depending on where they exist in the realms. So, like, the Lizardmen in Akshi are going to be notably different than the Lizardmen in Gyran, and the Lizardmen in Gyran will be notably different from the Lizardmen in Shyish, and so on and so forth. Are you just following me? Screw off. Get out of here. Nerd. Hurry, hurry! My city awaits! And nothing will stand in my way. How are the Skaven clan Pestilence doing in Age of Sigmar? We honestly haven't heard a lot about the Skaven in 2nd edition right now. Skaven have been pretty quiet. I imagine they're about to do something big in Broken Realms. Because, the Skaven were really important at the start of 2nd edition. But they've been kind of quiet since then. Because the Skaven literally caused 2nd edition by screwing up Nagash's ritual, which was hilarious. Because it was almost an exact repeat of screwing up Nagash's ritual from Fantasy. And Nagash realized it while he was in the midst of casting his spell. Like, he was sitting there trying to think about who was going to try and stop him. And he was, like, accounting for all of the gods and what they were doing. And he was like going through all of them. And he's like, okay, I've accounted for everyone. No one can stop me. No one can stop me. And then, like, he had, like, a brief flashback. Or, like, he had a brief thought about the Skaven and the Great Horned Rat. And he was, like, sitting there and he was like, I've taken care of everyone. Except for the Skaven. And then there's, like, a long pause and he's like, except for the... Oh, no. And, like, he literally has a flashback to every single time the Skaven have screwed him over. In Fantasy. Because the Skaven screwed him over... when he tried to craft the Great Ritual, because they're the ones that freed Alcatazar and got Nagash killed. They also screwed Nagash over in the End Times, when he was absorbing all of the magic of Shyish to the Black Pyramid, and the Skaven nuked the Black Pyramid, and then they screwed him over in AOS in 2nd edition, which he saw coming only at the last second, but by then it was too late. Ryan, yeah, I would love to see that. I mean, probably my favorite thing that CA does. Like, DLCs are really, really cool, but I also like to see the old content get updated. Okay, I do need to be careful up here, because I don't want to, like, run into a surprise Chaos Army in my butt. We would have won by now if I hadn't allowed, my capital to fall. I don't think the I mean, the Skaven don't like Nagash. They're scared of him. But they just have a really annoying tendency to slip beneath his notice because of how arrogant he is. And it just kind of often results in him underestimating them or not paying attention to them. And so they manage to catch up with him. And screw up his plans. And now the forces of order are swarming north. What are Seraphon doing in Age of Sigmar? The Seraphon have basically been landing a lot of massive pyramids to terraform various places within the realms to be like the jungles of Lustria. And just kind of like prepare for like the next stage of war. But they're kind of actively just looking for ways to screw over the Dark Gods. And they've actually been integrating with the other forces of order. So like there are now a lot of skink areas within other cities. So like one of the really famous cities, well, there's a lot of really famous cities, but a lot of the big cities of Sigmar now have like entire skink quarters that have like a bunch of skinks hanging around, which is awesome. Nearly there. Of course, I stunt the Chaos Invasion, so Order finishes off Chaos and then takes everything. Assholes. Is there any way to kill the Dark Gods? Theoretically, well, yes, there's a couple ways. Theoretically. If you were to, for instance, wipe out all forms of... Like, if you were to wipe out all of existence, that would kill them, because they would starve to death. Nagash tried to kill them by basically dominating what happens to everyone's souls. So, like, dominating the very force of death. Because theoretically, if you were to... Well, not theoretically, in, like, actuality. If you were to cut off, like, the flow of souls when they die... If you were to cut off those souls that are trying to flow to the gods they worship and allow those gods to, like, feast on their essence... you would actually be able to starve them, and they would either starve to death or you'd be strong enough to wipe them out. They could, of course, be destroyed by a god that's bigger than them. Whether or not they could be killed themselves, like if you could physically go where they are and stab them and kill them, it's possible. Like they can be physically assaulted, but killing them would be difficult. Cool mechanical claw, bro. I'm gonna give that mechanical claw to Gorich. Here you go, Gorich. Here's your mechanical claw. I should be giving my guys items instead of just letting them suffer. That'd probably be the smart thing. Man-Thing, Slave. No, I don't need Beard Thing. Give me Scavenger. I don't need a Breeder either. Razor Standard. Oh, wow. Dang! Deathmaster Snitch has all sorts of cool little things. I'll take the Grand Banner of Clan Superiority. Yeah, we want all the bonus leadership when fighting men, because men are going to be our primary opponent. can just hear Drycha screaming somewhere nearby. Oh, that is Drycha. I should probably kill her before she... Nah, whatever. Get out of my way, Order Tide! What's Gorich's trait / bonuses? Gorich gives a lot of buff to monstrous units. Packmaster has a serious lockjaw problem. Yeah, funny enough, I'm not sure why, but CA did this kind of weird, funny thing where, like, all of the Skaven characters and, like, their portraits, they just have their mouths open, like, just hanging open all the time. They never close their mouths. Maybe because they think it would, like, look weird or something? I'm not sure. Yeah, this is my city, and I'm here to reclaim it. I'm here to repossess what is mine. With my horrifying Death Star Legion. And I will not accept no for an answer. Please vacate the premises, Imperial troops. We will not be waiting for an answer. Monks, take the walls.
Master Mutator!
Warhounds. You can pull up close. Let's get it open. Who's leading this force? The general? Open the gates! Summon more troops. You lot. Go. Oh, I don't like that. You lot, let's go. I guess you could stay behind and lead this assault. Okay, I'll let Gorich fight that. Go ahead and buff him so Gorich can just tear that thing limb from limb. Alright, get your ass over here. You lot! Come on! Let's go! Get out of my way! More summons! Infinite summons!
Council's command! They sense the bearers.
Yeah, my city. Alright, now I'm going to regenerate a couple troops. Any of my monstrous guys particularly? Yeah, all my monstrous guys are in pretty good shape, actually. We'll just let our Packmaster get some health back. Good job, Gorich. Way to make Pappy proud. Here, have some healing. That's good enough. Are there any fantasy races that have been forgot by Games Workshop and could be brought to Total War? Not really. I mean, there are some races that Games Workshop has vaguely... Well, I guess technically. I mean, there's a lot of the human cultures used to have, like, vaguely little playable things, kind of like the Southern Realms, Araby, Cathay. But I wouldn't say they, like, actively forgot about any of them. This is my house! Mine! And no others! Stay out! Oh, Drycha's not at war with us. That's convenient. Did they change the Wood Elf settlement maps at all? Like the actual maps? No, I don't think so. I don't care. Yeah, sure, whatever. Silver Pinnacle. What would I want to see from an Araby roster? I want the Incarnate... Well, I don't think Araby would really have a good chance at this point of being made into, like, their own standalone race. I feel like if you were going to do Araby, and actually, like, get them in the game where Games Workshop and CA would be okay with it, because I think they're really nervous about doing something like Araby for a myriad of reasons. I think your best bet would be to do a Southern Realms DLC that is a combined group of Araby, the Border Princes, Tilia, and Estalia. I think if the four of them like came together and they as a conglomerate were like the Dogs of War or the Southern Realms, one of those two, I think they would have a chance at having good representation. What's the problem for doing Araby? Araby, I think, is one of those factions that Games Workshop itself doesn't really want to touch with a 9-inch pole. And I think that's mainly because due to the fact that we are no longer in the 80s. It is more difficult to make a video game that takes someone's historical history, takes a culture's history and puts them through a lens, in this case a fantasy lens, without like really making them super upset. Especially because like old Araby was more based on like Arabian Nights type of it's very stereotyped. It's not very like it's very like what would a bunch of white British dudes in the 80s think would represent the Middle East type faction, which I don't honestly think would cause any big issues. I think people wouldn't really care or be fine with it, But then again, it's hard to predict what people are going to get really pissed about in today's world. And Games Workshop is a company that really doesn't want to get involved in any controversies. You know, like, pretty much the only group that's, like, harassed Games Workshop, they care a lot about their brand right now. And I think they view it as a unnecessary brand risk to try and do Araby. Especially because Araby has, like, a lot of Tzeentch influence. They were kind of like, they're not evil, but they have a lot of, like, evil aspects to them that might not fly. I don't know. It's tricky. Well, no, I think Cathay will be fine because CA has already handled Cathay. Like, they already did 3 Kingdoms and it went over just fine. You can't really say that as easily for the others. But I don't know. You know, it could be that it turns out to be nothing and maybe CA will, or not CA, Games Workshop will come out and be like, yeah, okay, sure, let's do it. But, you know, I just, you know, we'll have to just wait and see. Why do I only have 1 city? Because a chaos invasion came through and destroyed all my crap. And the thing is, honestly, I'm not that worried about CA. I think CA has, like, a very open-minded view towards how to handle cultures, and they're really good at it. And I think CA would be more than happy to, like, handle a lot of the other races in the Warhammer Fantasy world. But the big thing is Games Workshop. I think Games Workshop looks at that kind of stuff and is kind of like, I don't know. They're the people you have to convince, not CA. I think CA honestly would be fine. And I think they could do an Araby that people would really, really like and would be super cool. And, like, do the background research into what people would want to see and all that other stuff. But I don't think that Games Workshop is as easy to convince. How am I doing tonight, Chief? I'm good. We're about to finish the Hell Pit campaign. All I have to do is finish the building that I'm constructing right now, and we win. I'm getting nervous about this big old Chaos Army, though, building up on me. I'm going to have to do something about that. Hey, RAR5H2X, thanks so much for using your Prime sub, dude. I appreciate it. I wonder if we could snipe out Franz. Try and keep them back from us. Oh, yeah, I can. Get out here, Franz! Nobody likes you. Haha, nerds! See you in hell! Three more turns. We just have to hang in there. Inu Okomi. Hey, I was thinking, what's the best way to support the channel? Twitch subs, Patreon, or donations? I would say the best way to support the channel on a... Oh, he's lightning striking me? Asshole. Fine. Fine. I'll fight you. Volkmar the dipshit. You want to go? Let's go! I would say the best way to support the channel is, on a regular basis, is probably through Patreon. If you're just wanting to support it, like, from time to time as you can, then I would say Streamlabs donations are the best way. Specifically Streamlabs, though. YouTube Super Chats are not the best. For some people, that's, like, the easiest way for them to donate. That's totally cool. Like, I'm happy to have the support. But it's a pseudo predatory method. All right, Volkmar, let's boogie. It's raining because the world's weeping that it's about to be short a Grand Theogenist.
Protected by beasts.
Kill them all. Do want to slow down some aspects of our army a tad bit. I don't want to take too much damage. Get going, boys. Run them down. Dogs, go. Help it to me. Help it! Kill the Theogenist! Who are these assholes? Knights of the Everlasting Light? Yeah, we'll see how everlasting that garbage is. Still confident I can win? Oh yeah, you think I'm threatened by this paltry display? This army's a joke. Kill him! And that's that. Hey, Talos, thanks so much for the tip, my dude. How does the Chaos Waste support the endless hordes of Chaos tribes if it's so barren? The lore makes it seem as if there's hundreds of thousands, not millions of them, and they never run out. The Chaos Waste does not really follow the logic that you would expect of the universe or the world. It is a place. It is, for the most part, it's a horrible barren wasteland. But you have to note that most of the warriors of chaos and other servants that are up there don't require physical needs. Most of them don't need food. They don't need sleep. And if they do, usually it's like a survival of the fittest scenario where most of the people that need to eat up there will eat whatever the monsters and nasty creatures they can find, or they'll eat each other. Their cannibalism is pretty normal. And a lot of the chaos cycles, like Khorne and Slanesh, both have tons of cannibals. So, yeah. Man, there's a giant dwarf army coming for me. But that being said, the Chaos Wastes are not just wastelands. It's a mutated landscape that's constantly shifting and changing. This is the trait for Volkmar. It's actually really, really strong. Plus 3 melee defense and melee attack for all infantry. So all my plague monks.
I must eat feed.
Yeah. Here.
Time to feed.
Oh, that killed one of my plague monks. Rude.
I am Throt the Unclean. Master Lord of Hellpit.
I need 2 more turns alone in my base. Oh, leveled up twice. Wow.
Rat does what's told.
Woundmaker. Got another 2 points. We'll go speed, I guess.
Twist, bend, mangle, experiment.
Drycha will probably attack us, but it's fine.
Feed Throt.
We'll deal with it. Do I have the max tier garrison? I do. Okay. We want to spam up corruption. Make life hard for my enemies. Okay, I could get some more upgrades. What do they have? There we go. Perfect vigor and regen. Yeah, I'm just gonna get perfect vigor and regen on all my infantry. Nice. What are necroparasites? Oh, it's like a big self-heal. But yeah, that'll be really strong on them. It's 50 for that though. Monster augments. So you've got the hunger, mammoth skin. Can I give you synaptic response? Nice.
What rough beast thing comes?
Okay, we're pretty much out. Alright. Mang, the Chaos Wastes feel like Chernobyl? They're very similar. What difficulty are we playing on? We're on very hard campaign, hard battle, and legendary chaos invasion. Who's got the best cavalry ever in lore? The Hung, Bretonnians, or some other race/people? I would say the Bretonnians have the best cav. Oh, geez, that is a lot of dwarves. That is so many dwarves. Is this going to be the final great battle for Hellpit? The final battle for all that's unholy and disgusting?
Endless hunger.
It would be if I was playing fair. But I'm the Skaven. And playing fair is for chumps. Belagar.
Crossbreed creatures.
He's got artillery, so I do...
Experiment doomed.
I'd like to try for an ambush. I don't want to try too hard. Let's give him like 1 or 2 more attempts. Maybe Drycha? Dularic the Wild?
Flesh meat. Clan eat well now.
Yeah, that'll split the dwarves up. Very nice. Thank you, Forest Spirits, for playing your part.
Fool, think best better than me.
Such useful little things, aren't they?
Now, not trust this one. Should eat. Purest warpstone.
I really want that ambush.
Leave.
There we go.
Harvest, kill. Harvest parts.
Back to help it.
Scappa stomp.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Bad rat. This parts.
Max out our resistances.
I am Throt the Unclean.
You back the hell off, dwarves! Do the Wood Elves know that Lilith is the Lady of the Lake? No, they don't. The elves don't even know that Lilith is actually Ladriel, who's like a different elf god. Alright, I have to defeat both these dwarf armies. Ugh, fuck, dude. We're gonna run into a big problem if they start chaining all the armies in.
What experiment?
I literally need 1 turn. But the problem is all these guys are gonna chain in. If it weren't for the border princes, we would be really, really secure right now.
Do you take me for a wazzock?
How does this campaign start compare? I think the campaign start is really good. I think CA needs to address the chaos thing. I think our best bet is going to let them come to us because they can only max out a certain amount of armies. And what I'm hoping is I should have a... where is he? Oh, did they assassinate my... Oh no, here he is. Where is this guy? What the fudge? Why is he that far south? It's my plague dude. I really need like another chaos invasion to pop out and sweep all this garbage away. I'm trying to think if our best bet would be to just hold the line and like wait for a chaos army to show up. Because I do have like, I have a colossal garrison and a very powerful army. Like they're a little wounded, but not too bad. Especially, I'd really like to be able to get my 13th scheme active. Because I'm not going to be able to ambush, because I don't think you can ambush coming out of a city. So, yeah, I think our best bet is just to wait patiently. Could I create a new army and use the monsters I have? Yeah, but I don't have any settlements near Hell Pit. Because the Chaos Invasion, like, literally obliterated my entire empire. And either the AI is not at war with the... either it's not at war with the southern factions. Okay, the Warriors of Chaos just died. So they should be creating a new army soon. Because I think the nearest armies that they are at war with are probably... Yeah, see, they're not even at war with Clan Moors. Clan Moors is totally out of this fight. So it's literally just me.
Meet specimens.
Ah!
Throt.
I should have save scummed the Chaos Invasion. If I'd save scummed the fight against the Chaos Invasion, it would probably be just fine. I'm trying to think if a Doom Engineer would even be useful. I don't think so. What happened to Throt during the end times? Throt showed up at the siege of Karakadren, where he played a pivotal role in its destruction, and then he vanished, and we never saw what happened to him. Four armies of dwarves. Many of them rank 9. And even if I beat him, there's still at least 2 Border Prince armies that'll attack the same turn. Well, this'll be the, I think if I win this, though, if I win this fight, and then I win the subsequent fight that will probably come from the Border Princes, we will win the campaign. But if we lose this fight, the campaign could just go on forever. Because I do not have... The only thing I need is that one Hell Pit building. I smell a disaster battle for Legend. I think you grossly underestimate my pride. But this will be an epic battle of legendary proportions, which will be a perfect stream for next time. I think I gotta call it there. My headphones are about to die, and I've got dinner waiting for me downstairs. It's been waiting since I got that phone call, but I was like, oh, we could just finish real quick. So, next stream, we will fight the, great final epic finale battle for, for this city. I'm not going to send it to Legend. I'm going to do it myself. I feel really confident I can win this. I just have to cheese it really hard. Normally, I don't cheese super hard, but I've kind of hit that point in this campaign where, like, I'm just kind of auto-resolving everything because I'm ready to be done. So I think we're going to we're gonna win this battle one way or another. We're gonna have to use some really sneaky tactics in order to bring the dwarves low, but it can be done. It's just it's gonna be an adventure. I mean, I've got so much stuff. The only thing I'm worried about is, like, one of these armies is almost like nothing but giant slayers. But I think we'll be able to manage it. Any event, thank you all so much for watching. I did save, yeah. So we'll be back tomorrow with more of this. But I'm hungry and I want to eat, and then I will be on Twitch later tonight. I'll probably be on Twitch in maybe an hour, hour and a half. I don't know what I'm going to be playing yet. I might be playing some Hades just to finish off a couple little things, or I might be playing Vermintide, one of the two. But in any event, I hope you all have a lovely day. Thank you so much for joining me. There were so many just wonderful, awesome, lovely messages and stuff tonight, and a lot of really generous tips and follows and subs and all sorts of other crazy shit. So I really appreciate you all coming by. I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope y'all are excited. Y'all only have 3 more days till you'll have your hands on this DLC for yourself. 3 more, less than 3 days. I mean, it comes out on the 3rd, so y'all got less than 3 days. I'll see you guys next time. If you're on Twitch, don't go anywhere yet. I want to talk to y'all for just a minute. But YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and send you guys off to go do whatever it is you're going to go do today. Nobody else is live streaming. I'm sorry, I don't have anywhere interesting to send you guys. But if you're on Twitch, hang out for a minute. So thanks for watching, guys. YouTube, I'll see you dudes. Thanks for watching. Love you. Love you all. Have a lovely night. Now I gotta wait for the YouTube to catch up. There we go.